Welcome back to Clash of Cultures. As we continue on with our 2023 College Football QB series, we take a look at the Miami Hurricanes versus the Florida State Seminoles this year and what looks to be a big-time matchup in the ACC. But before we get into too much of the football talk, as always, if you're new to the channel, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you don't miss an upload. We do have our College Football Pick'em going on. Link is in the description. We also have a live show coming to you guys on Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern time, so make sure you guys stick around for that. And lastly, the giveaway at 1,000, going to be giving away a signed Heisman jersey. So if you guys want a chance to win one of those jerseys, make sure you guys subscribe, join the community, give us your feedback. With all that being said, Dad, how do you feel about this Miami versus Florida State matchup?
Yeah, so with my thoughts on Florida State and with my thoughts on Miami, I think this should be, and I don't want to say an easy win, any game in state, and they got a little rivalry. I won't call it easy, but I think Florida State should be able to win this game, should be able to handle this game. As I talked about Miami, we're really talking about Tyler Van Dyke. And can he return to his form from 2-3 seasons ago? Or is he kind of, and I know, I think it was put in the comments and we kind of discussed it. I know he had a little bit of an injury last season. So really who is he? Who is Tyler Van Dyke? Is he a marquee quarterback, or is he, and I don't want to call him a bust, but is he not the guy that maybe we thought he was going to be? A little bit of a disappointment. I think we kind of know what to expect from Florida State. They had a very good into the season, and I think we've talked about Jordan Travis and those big receivers they got, Keon Coleman and Johnny Wilson and Nazia. That's going to be tough for any team to stop. Trey Benson out of the backfield. So I think at the end, they just have too many weapons for Miami. Like I said, rivalry games can kind of go crazy. This may just be one of those games. And if Tyler Van Dyke is the guy that we thought he was going to be 2 years ago, and we can kind of get this Miami offense going, this game may be closer than we believe. Again, I think Florida State's going to win pretty comfortably. But I would not be surprised if this game was a nail biter that went down to a final play or the final drive. What's your thoughts?
So just before I kind of give my immediate prediction and everything, Florida State is opening up as a 2-touchdown favorite. It's one of those ones where
literally 14 points.
14 points exactly.
Oh my, that's kind of a lot.
That's what I was going to say. I think that's a lot. If I'm a Miami fan, and even without, obviously having a horse in this race, I don't think Florida State's going to win by 14 points. Well, really 15 points. I don't think they're going to cover that. I think it's going to be a good game. They won 45-3 last year. Obviously a big win at Miami. So obviously I'm pretty sure the game this year is in Tallahassee. But I think Miami's team got a little bit better. Obviously Florida State got better as well in the transfer portal, but they both had really good transfer portal classes. Florida State had the 10th ranked class and Miami had the 12th ranked class. Mm-hmm. Florida State brought in 6 5-stars or 4 stars. I'm apologizing for the transfer portal. And then Miami brought over 5 in the transfer portal. I'm almost positive Miami had a better 2023 recruiting class. Let me know in the comment section if I'm wrong about that. But if I'm not mistaken, I think they did. I don't want to fact check myself right now in the middle.
And they actually had a really good class. The only problem is obviously we're talking about freshmen.
Yeah. I know they got the 2 best offensive linemen in the class. If I'm not mistaken, one of them is probably going to start. One of them has a really bad name to pronounce. And I know we're notorious for mispronouncing names, so we're not even going to try to do that. But I'm pretty sure he's going to be the starting.
Magoa?
Bro, come on, bro. Yes, him.
I got to try it. You got to try it.
So I'm pretty sure he's going to be a starter. The other guy's probably going to get a lot of reps as well. So obviously it's a younger offensive line, but still talented at the same time. So I think there's a lot of question marks surrounding this game. Like you said, it's an in-state rivalry, so I expect it to be a closer game than a 42-point blowout. I don't think that's going to happen again. I do think it's going to be closer. I am picking Florida State to win. I think they're a better team than Miami, but I would not be surprised if Miami found a way to do the upset and win this game, especially with this game being so late in the season. It's probably a week 9, 10, 11 type game. It's way back in November. November 11th. So this game is got to be your 9th game or so. So I would expect both teams to be humming at that point. Hopefully no injuries, you can pray for that and make sure both teams are healthy. We can kind of see the best football being played. Because at the end of the day, obviously we're both just college football fans. We want to see the good games. I think this game's going to be a lot closer. I don't expect Florida State winning by 14. I think both teams have talent. Obviously, we talked about the young pieces for Miami. I think Miami is on an upswing right now, and in a couple of years from now, they would kind of compete for the ACC. Obviously, we don't know right now what the ACC is going to look like due to conference realignment. But I mean, assuming everything stays the same, I would expect Miami in the 2 to 3 years to be in the thick of ACC title talks with how the recruiting has been going, assuming that Cristobal can kind of right the ship.
I think we don't talk about, and I know we've kind of unofficially ranked wide receiver rooms for a little bit now, from USC to Washington to obviously Ohio State. I don't think we give Florida State enough credit for what this receiving group is. And I did not mention Jaheim Bell coming over from South Carolina. Yeah. But you're talking Keon Coleman, Johnny Wilson, and Jaheim Bell. Those are three great receiving targets at Jordan Travis's disposal. And that's really, to me, where this game kind of comes down. I don't know how Miami stops all these weapons. And again, Jordan Travis can run. Like I said, you got Trey Benson out of the backfield and three legitimate receiving weapons, all guys that could. And I'll kind of move Jaheim Bell out of that. But again, I think as we talked about South Carolina recently, he kind of was a Swiss Army knife for them playing tight end. He actually ran the ball. I think he was their second leading rusher as well, I think we said. So a guy who's obviously uber athletic. And if he really just hunkered down and focused on the tight end position. Again, you have two guys who last year were number one receiving options in Johnny Wilson and Keon Coleman. And like I said, if Jaheim Bell really hunkered down and just focused on being a great tight end, you may have a problem. This may be one of the better receiving groups. And like I said, I'm including Jaheim Bell in that. And I don't know how Miami stops them. Now you are correct. Miami is very young. And they have done, since Cristobal has gotten there, and I know his intent has been to lock down Miami, they have done a good job of getting recruits in. The problem is recruits are young. So like you mentioned, and I'm not going to mess up his name. I'll say the first name is Francis, the young freshman tackle. Yes, he is going to be starting, or the assumption is he's going to be starting. They got Tommy Kinsler as well. He's probably going to be backing up. So I think 2 to 3 years from now, Miami's going to be a force. They're going to be tough. They're going to be back. I just don't think it's this year. And then in today's day and age in college football, recruiting now is not enough. Having high recruiting classes is not enough, because I just happen to look just kind of, and I'm going to get a little bit off topic, but I was looking at, I think the running back recruiting class from like 2 years ago, the year that Travion came and Donovan Edwards. I would say, as I looked at probably 30 running backs, probably 20 of them are not with their original team anymore. So that transfer portal is, so now you almost have to continue recruiting the kids on your roster because the transfer portal is here and it's very serious. So we talk about teams like Texas A&M who's had great recruiting classes, but continue to lose kids to the transfer portal. So Miami not only has to recruit these kids, which obviously, like I said, Cristobal's been able to do, but you got to maintain them. You got to be able to hold on to these kids. If they can do that, a few years from now, I think Miami is going to be truly back. But that's a big if. And I don't believe they are ready for the likes of a Florida State. I don't think this is a top 25 team yet. I think all you're hoping for is, if you're Miami, is to see some improvement, to see some signs of life, to see the ability to hang with some of the big dogs, because I think in a year or two they'll be able to catch them.
So it's actually crazy. Miami had the number one ACC recruiting class in 2023, above Clemson and Florida State. They had the best recruiting class, a top 10 class in 2023. In 2022, Miami had a higher class than Florida State. 2021, they had a higher class. 2020, they had a higher class. The last time Florida State had a better recruiting class in Miami was in 2019. So a lot of those players in 2019 are not even on the team anymore.
Yeah, no, I agree.
I mean, or if they are, they're seniors, which is crazy to think about. I mean, and Miami has had a top 3 ACC class the last 5 years. And obviously the best class last year and the number 7 class overall. So I think that's pretty amazing when you look at the talent they have, but it has to translate to the field, obviously. So I think it'll happen eventually. We just have to see. Obviously, they bring over a new offensive coordinator, which I think will help out Van Dyke. Obviously, they bring over the two, or they recruit the two offensive linemen to kind of bolster that. So they always had a good defense. I think they stopped the turnover chain. I think that's gone. I'm pretty sure. They stopped that, but that was kind of a good little
a little momentum for
like a good bit of an error there. Who was that safety? Not to get off topic. Who's that safety they had during the turnover chain era? He was nice. He was small. He wore a single digit number.
I don't know.
Oh, I got to find it before you end this video. Hold on. So Jaquan Johnson, that's who I was talking about. He was drafted in the 6th round, but 5'11", 190. He was a small guy, but I remember him from the turnover chain era. He was on their team in like 2017, 18, like around there. It's like 5 years ago. And he was like, I wouldn't say the start of it, but he was definitely like the staple of that defense during that time. I don't know why he came to mind when we talked about that turnover chain, but that was kind of random, but that was funny. But my final prediction for this game, I don't think Florida State covers the 14. I think it's a lower scoring game. Well, I guess you would say medium scoring. I wouldn't say low scoring. I'm gonna say like 31 to 21. I'm gonna say 10-point win, 31 to 20 maybe. I don't think it's gonna be 45 to 3 or 48 to 3, whatever the hell it was last year. I don't think it's gonna be like that. I think it's gonna be a closer game. I don't think they can replicate that amount of success against a talented team like this. So I'm gonna say 31 to 20.
Yeah, I'm going to go with a push. I'm going to go 35-21 Florida State for the push. So 14 points exactly. Like I said, I think Florida State just has too many weapons. And Travis is legit. And those weapons, two massively big wide receivers. And like I said, you just added another weapon to Jaheim Bell. So, I think they're going to be able to get them. I think it's going to be a good game. And like I said, I think for Miami and Cristobal, what you're looking for is just can we hang? Can we keep it 2-10, 2-7, make Florida State actually have to fight, right? This should not be 40, would you say 42 to 3? Can we make this a game, make them have to fight, make them have to sweat a little bit, just show some progress.
Okay, so trivia to end today's video. It's a Miami trivia.
Okay.
Right. This one might be a little tough.
It's all about the you.
Okay. I came up with this on the fly, but can you name of the last 5 players drafted from the Miami Hurricanes? There's been, since 2015, there's been 6 players drafted in the 1st round. Can you name at least one of them? One player from Miami Hurricanes drafted in the 1st round in the last 7 years. And they're notable names. Like there was one drafted in 2021. Two 1st-round picks drafted in 2021. The other ones were in 2016 and 2017, and 2 in 2015. Like I said, there's some notable names on this list.
McKinney?
Xavier McKinney went to Alabama, if you're talking about him.
No, the lineman.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
I may have made that name up. These are people I should know.
You should 100% know. There's one guy on this list who's like fringe, I would say top 10 in his position. For sure. 100%. He's top 10. He's top 10 in his position, at least. He's got to be. And I might be pushing it, but like when you say his name, you can be like, okay, I can see him doing top 10.
I cannot name one.
Okay, so I'm going to name you the 2 that was in 2021. Okay. And that was Jalen Phillips and Gregory Rousseau.
Yeah, I wouldn't have got either one of those.
Okay, so another one was Philip Dorsett, the wide receiver.
Okay.
Artie Burns, the corner for Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Eric Flowers, offensive tackle. The guy I was saying who was top 10 in his position is David Njoku. Tight end. Okay. Yeah, so I would say he's not fringe top tight end. Top 10 for sure.
I forgot Njoku went to Miami.
Yeah, he was there in 2016. Yeah, he got drafted in 2017 to obviously Cleveland. But let us know in the comment section if you guys knew anybody coming from out of Miami. Obviously,
only Miami fans.
Yeah, I was gonna say obviously Miami fans are gonna know. But thank you guys so much for rocking with us. Again, make sure you guys subscribe, hit the notification bell, join the pick'em in the description. Make sure you guys show up on Sunday for the live show. It's gonna be super fun. Last week's was fun as well. We have 9 days until the season kicks off. And
I'm excited.
We are at 905 subscribers, so help us get to that 1,000 before kickoff. And it's going to be super fun. But as always, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace out.